A lot of us draw conclusions on teams in 2023 based on what was a weakness last year, right? Hey, this has been a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem. Hey, this is something that was a concern last year. I'm still concerned about it. Just because it was a weakness last year doesn't mean it's going to be a weakness this year. And I think we can all grow and learn from this, and not speaking so definitively and drawing hold me to them conclusions based on last year's tape. Best example is North Carolina's pass rush. North Carolina's front seven defensively. I'm not breaking any news and telling you that North Carolina really, really struggled last season. Gene Chizik came under an immense amount of pressure and a lot of offseason criticism. Well, he said, I went back to the drawing board. I decided to kind of study college football, the defenses that are doing it really well in college football, and I concluded this, that disruption kills offenses. So I'm going to be more aggressive. I'm going to blitz. I'm going to pressure. I'm going to allow my defensive linemen to shoot their shot, because that's the way you win in college football nowadays. Offenses are too good. If you just play conservative, bend, don't break defense, offenses are too good. They're going to hold the ball. They're going to convert on third down. They're going to move it down the field, and they're going to score points. But if you can get them off schedule by creating more negative plays, that's the way you stymie offense here in 2023. Gene Chizik recognized that, and North Carolina just had 9 sacks. That's their most in a game in the last 25 years. They pressured Spencer Rattler 19 times on his 52 dropbacks. That's a 37% pressure rate. You know what their pressure rate was last year? 10%. Nearly 4 times better than what they had on pressures alone. It's the second most pressure Spencer Rattler's ever faced in a game. Really remarkable. They had 6 sacks on third down. That's the entire total that they had last year. Last year, they had 6 sacks over a 14-game season. They had 6 sacks on third down. Well, in week 1, game 1, 6 sacks just for North Carolina's pass rush. How about Mississippi State? They've not been a great run team. It was all about Will Rogers. Hey, Will, you got to throw for 4 bills or we're not going to be able to win. And I know we need to take it into account at Southeastern Louisiana. I get it. I'm not going to try to sit here and say that it was, it's not, put it this way, they didn't run for 300 against Georgia. But that's a group that can push you around a little bit. I was very impressed with the tape when I went back and watched it. 298 yards on the ground. That complements the passing attack of Will Rogers, who went for 227. If they can have that kind of balance offensively, that's going to do wonders for Mississippi State as they continue to move forward. And then finally, as far as things that were a weakness a year ago, but might actually this year be a pretty good strength. How about Notre Dame's wide receiver core? Or let's just go one step further. Notre Dame's weapons, if you will, because it's not just receivers. Think about the running backs the last couple of weeks that have been involved in the passing game. You had multiple running backs, 6 receptions on 6 targets for 93 yards, a combined 82 on touchdown receptions and runs by Jadarian Price and Jabron Payne. So I'm really encouraged by what I've seen. You got 3 tight ends involved in the passing game, which is really, really exciting. Mitchell Evans appears poised to take a step as far as a reliable weapon. And look, a lot of this has to do with the improved play at quarterback. I mean, we can't deny that. The weapons are going to get better if the quarterback play gets better. I'm not breaking any news there. But Chris Tyree looks really comfortable. Holden Stays looks really comfortable. Jaden Thomas, very productive day this past weekend. Tobias Merriweather, pretty good, solid. Feel good about his emergence. Jaden Greathouse and Rico Flores. I mean, we're talking about guys now that I'm not going to say that they're a really, really, really explosive, take over the game wide receivers, but collectively, and we talked, the depth, do they have a number 1? I don't know. But what did Chancey Stuckey tell us a couple weeks ago? He said, last year we really had 5 guys or so. Now we have 10. And it's starting to play itself out as far as the dynamic weapons that Notre Dame has. And we'll find out where they're at this week. NC State will be a great test, and we'll get a better understanding because playing against, the 2 teams they've played against so far, not going to really test them the same way. But I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't even want to say cautiously, I'm really optimistic about what I've seen from those pass catchers at Notre Dame the last 2 weeks.